Famous Athletics.
Yeah.
So
Famous
what do you say?
Athletics?
Yeah.
Athletics. So
Been ahead of my peers, just used to pedal the slowest. Now you pedal the fastest in a circle of motion. Fame moved up in weight, ran out of opponents, so it's time to.
The Famous Athletics. In the building. In the building for that weigh-in.
Undeniably, Terence Crawford became the undisputed champion in August of 2018, and everyone knew or kind of knew his plans was to head up towards welterweight to possibly face on the toughest challenge at 147 pounds at the time, which was Errol Spence Jr. But Terence Crawford basically came up to 147 pounds to win the WBO title and to get his hands on other titles. So, as Bob Arum and Top Rank said, during this course, you had Terence Crawford being asked a series of questions. Who is the mega fighter at 147? Who's the biggest guy? Who's the best guy to face at 147? And undeniable, he denounced Errol Spence Jr. as being number one at 147 and gave a lot of props to Keith one-time Thurman as the man at 147 pounds when Keith Thurman held his Super WBA title and the WBC green belt that Sean Porter now holds. With that being said, I'm going to give you a little background and history of what happened between the two fighters and how Terence Crawford ultimately came up to 147 pounds to become the undisputed champion, hopefully on his journey, and also giving much respect to Keith one-time Thurman. Did he reciprocate that energy from Keith one-time Thurman? Absolutely not. So I'm going to take you guys on the road. This is the story of Keith one-time Thurman and Terence Bud Crawford.
Some other welterweights in the division, and let me know quick answers what you think of them. And the first is the guy who most fans think that it's going to come down to, and that's Errol Spence. What do you think of Errol?
We're going to fuck him up.
Okay, all right, that's pretty quick. Keith Thurman.
We're going to fuck him up too.
Now why, man? Come on, Bo, man. Give me
you said you gonna name some names. Come on, dog.
Right.
We already know why we go.
Same exact answer.
Hey, we already know why we gonna fuck Errol Spence up.
What's the easier fight?
Danny Garcia.
No, I mean between the two champions in the division.
Who?
Errol Spence and Thurman. What would be the easier matchup for you?
To be honest with you, man, I would probably pick Errol Spence.
Okay.
I would probably pick Errol Spence as an easier fight.
I don't think anybody's going to agree with that.
See, if I keep elaborating on this question,
you're going to give too much away.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
You don't have to. You don't have to, baby.
Becoming undisputed champion. So, what's the next career-defining fight like that?
Take over 147. That's next for me.
Some real big dogs there, Thurman and Spence.
Of course, and I'm willing to take on the big dogs. That's why I'm moving up.
We don't, but you know, I just give you credit because a lot of guys when they move up, you know, we have problems sometimes making the best matchups, and you haven't even moved up yet, and you're saying that's who I'm going after.
Right, I'm going after all of them, you know. But at the same time, you know, it's a business. You know, if it don't make sense, it won't happen. So we're gonna see what we can get done.
Would you probably look to fight Jeff Horn first before Thurman or Spence?
That's up to my managers. That's what I pay them for.
Do you think that fight's likely for next year?
We're going to see. We're going to see. Top Rank got Jeff Horn for 2 fights, so we're going to see.
You know, Thurman's the unified champ, but you talk to boxing people, all they talk about is Crawford and Spence. So do you think that's going to be the last 2 men standing in that picture?
Could be. We just got to wait and see. Like, I never know, being that I'm not a promoter, I'm not a manager or an advisor. I'm not none of that. I'm just a fighter, so I can't speak on their job. All I can speak on is my job and what I would like to do with my career.
Do you think you'll be just as devastating at 47 as 40? It will be your 3rd weight class.
Of course. Just like people didn't think I was going to be devastating at 140, coming up from 135. And they said, oh, he was stronger at 140 than 135. And I believe I'd be stronger at 147 than at 140.
Blue Blood Sports TV, I'm here with none other than Terence Bud Crawford. What's going on, man?
What's going on?
Not much. I just wanted to ask you a question, man. Are you naturally a 147-pounder? Because everybody says you're going to be small for the division.
We're going to see. You know, time will tell.
Okay, and because Keith Thurman said that it's going to be a lot different at 147 than it is going to be at 140 for you. How would you answer him with that?
We'll see. You know, just get in there with me, and then that's the only way of telling.
Okay, and so I know that you got the Jeff Horn fight coming up.
If he wins.
If he wins, that's going to be your next fight. But let me ask you a question. Do you think that would you rather to fight Pacquiao for like an eliminator for that belt?
He lost. He can fight the winner out of the winner. You know?
Right. So to move up to 147, do you have to hit the weights, or do you have to eat more? What you have to do to make that weight?
Just train. That's it.
Okay. So who do you think is the best fighter in the world right now?
I'm talking to him.
Right here, pound for pound, best champion in the world.
I like Terence Crawford. I don't see him as a devastating welterweight yet. I don't see him as a threat to any of the champions in the welterweight division. Yeah, right. Jeff Horn, Amir Khan can beat that. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of people at the bottom echelon of the top 10 that can beat Jeff Horn. So he didn't do anything impressive there. And then his last fight, I didn't even watch it because it didn't sound impressive. When they talked about it at the gym, it didn't sound impressive. He stopped him late, But Crawford is a great fighter. He's got a great backing with ESPN. I know him from the Amatuers. I'm very proud of all of his accomplishments. I'm happy for all of his success. I would enjoy fighting him one day. That could be fun. I definitely favor myself. Honestly, I'm still waiting on Terence Crawford to just impress me at 147. His opponents are just not up to par, in my opinion, with Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Amir Khan. I mean, he hasn't even fought a fighter as good as Amir Khan in my book, So, and he's accomplished a lot. And so I don't want to take anything away from him, but there's still room to impress me.
London.
It's very respectful up on the podium. Do you think it will stay like that throughout the fight? They'll cross into the fight and start hating each other more and more.
Thank you.
All right, get it, Mike. Hold up, back up a minute. I'm coming across.
The biggest, the baddest, and the best. Famus.